Hey, folks, welcome into the live broadcast. So excited to have you guys here. All of the Grind and Don't Quit fam is in the house. As you come in, just let me know you're here so I can say, hey, hello. A lot of good things going on already this week. You guys know the book is launched for Voiceover Domination. Many of you have already gotten it. And thank you so much for that. Put a lot into this particular book. Sorry, Tom, I mispronounced your name in the book, which I guess I should have looked it up on YouTube for the correct pronunciation of your last name. But thanks so much, everyone, for being here. If you got the book, please do a review on it after you read it on Amazon. The audiobook I just got done yesterday on ACX, and that's going to be a couple of days. They say about 7 to 14 days or something like that before it goes live. So I'll let you guys know as soon as the audiobook goes live. You've heard a little snippet of it. I've put it out, so hopefully you've heard that and enjoyed that. So today I've got a real special guest. Great voice actor, female voice actor, Conchita Congo is here with me today, and we're going to be talking about her journey in the voiceover realm and also her participation in Succeed on Demand, the brand new mastermind that we've started. So hello, Conchita. Welcome into the show. How you doing?
Hello, good morning. I'm
Oh,
grinding and not quitting. That's how I'm doing.
right. Well, that's how we do. That's how we do. Well, Conchita, we've been acquainted with each other for a little while now. And I mean, you've even done some script writing for Earl Studio, along with your own voiceover work. Tell us a little bit here. How did you actually get into the voiceover industry? What was that journey like for you to actually get in here?
Well, it's a long one. I actually started in being creative with my life a few years ago when I got into doing on-camera work here in Las Vegas with all the casinos and everything. I
Yeah.
thought that would be a good thing to get into for commercials and just little on-camera things that I could do for the casinos. But I found that that was just so hectic, so much hard
Mhm.
work. You have to look a certain way, dress a certain way. You've got to be ready for a wardrobe and all that. Be on camera, and then it's hurry up and wait once you're there.
Right.
And it was just crazy. And then it wasn't the money that I was expecting either.
Yeah.
So, in just talking to other people that were doing that kind of work, I ran into someone who was doing voiceover. And she said, "You have a really great voice. Have you considered voiceover?"
Uh-huh.
And I said, "No, I don't even know what that means." And I just started doing some research at that time. And then I found that there was someone here locally who was doing some voiceover classes in her home and just started taking her classes and getting involved in it. And
Mhm.
I thought, well, this is great because I don't have to worry about how I look. I don't have to run out and be on set somewhere. But then, of course, you find out about the investment in your equipment and all the things that you have to do to just get set up.
Yeah.
So I did all of that. I started out with not high-end equipment, but equipment that was good enough to get me going.
Sure.
And I thought, okay, I'm on my way. So the next thing I did was I heard about the pay-to-play sites.
Oh, we've all heard about. Oh, yeah. You just knew
Yeah,
you were going to
I
blow up
knew.
as soon as you got on a pay to play, right?
The first thing I did, of course, was voices.com because that was the
Yeah,
first one that was
that was it.
around. And I was fortunate enough that when I got involved in voiceover, that I even got to meet the owners of the company.
Oh,
And
wow.
I thought, oh, wow, okay, I'm really in like Flynn now. And so I paid to join that site and I got a lot of auditions and I was
Oh, yeah.
auditioning and practicing and learning how to do editing and all of that. And I thought, well, this is great because this way I can just kind of develop, my editing skills and all of that
Right.
as I go.
Yeah. That hasn't happened yet. Wow, because that usually what happens to every voice actor. They just blow up as soon as they get on the pay to play, you know. Oops, Conchita went offline, but that's okay. She'll be back in just a moment. She just probably clicked the wrong button. I was really getting into what it was that she was saying. So she'll be back, I'm sure, in just a moment. She'll realize she got kicked off and be right back in. But I mean, it's one of those things where when you are doing something on a pay to play, I think most of us went through that experience before. It's like you get on a pay to play and you think that you're just going to automatically make a lot of money, not realizing that, I mean, shucks, even with voices.com, I think they advertise on their homepage. They have over 250,000, I think, 250,000 voice actors. It's probably more by now on their site. So, you know, you're in that competition heavy with voices.com and being on that website or any pay to play site. It's one of the reasons why I talk about so much. Look, you've got to be on the offensive with this, and you've really got to go in and start learning how to get your own clients. It's the thing that has to be done if we're going to make it in this industry, especially in the beginning and starting out. You know, it's obviously possible to make a name for yourself and get more high-end clients like, you know, the Disneys and the, you know, all the national commercials and all that type of stuff once you've established yourself, and maybe even after you've gotten an appropriate agent. But to start out having an agent and being on a pay-to-play or a freelance site is not normally the thing that blows you up. I think pretty much everybody can attest, if you're going to blow up in this industry, it's going to be because you went after it. You went out there and you did what needed to be done in order to solidify your position in the voiceover industry. So many people are scared to put themselves out there. And one of the things I realize is there's a lot of self-limiting beliefs holding people back. One of the ones I see the most is that people are scared to charge the amount of money that they ought to charge. You know, in the book Voiceover Domination that I just put out, I deal with that a little bit. It's like you're never going to meet your income goals unless you charge appropriate, or what I like to call high-end prices. I had a conversation with someone yesterday, actually, that just got into the mastermind yesterday as well. And just talking about, look, you've got these people that if you're charging low prices, they're not even going to look at you. You know, the high-end clients that I talk about going after and getting, if you're charging, you know, rock bottom prices on stuff, then they're just not going to even look at you. Okay, we got Conchita back.
Am I
So,
back?
all right, let's go.
Okay,
Yeah, you're
I
back.
don't know what happened there. You didn't
I
like
had
me
no
talking
idea.
about the pay to plays.
I had no idea what to do. I have no idea how to run a talk show without having someone there to talk to. It's crazy. I don't know how to do
Okay, well, I'm back.
it.
I even remember my train of thought.
Keep it going. Let's go back to that because we were talking about the pay to plays and things of
Okay,
that nature.
yes,
So yeah,
yes.
go back to that.
Okay, so anyway, I joined the next one, the next big thing, and I knew someone who had started from zero
Mm,
and had really made a name for himself on that particular site.
okay.
And I thought, okay, well, I'm just going to follow his trail and do what he did. And I did that. I did get some work, and I really thought I was on my way.
Hmm.
But then I wasn't getting the kind of work that was really making a living for me.
Hmm.
So it became like a part-time thing, and I would get up early in the morning
Yep.
because I'm on the West Coast, so I have to get up earlier than everybody else anyway.
Hmm.
And I would get up like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and I would just audition, audition, audition.
Right.
And from that, I was just eking out a job now and then.
Let me ask you a question about that. How frustrating is it to spend all that time auditioning and get nothing? I mean, I mean, really, what is that? What was that like for you? Because I think each of us have an individual story about that because we've all done that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, for me, it was, at first I thought, well, if other people can do it, so can I.
Hmm.
And then I would do all kinds of things to try and maximize my presence on that site.
Hmm. And
Just
there's not much you can do. There's not
yeah,
much.
yeah. But they tell you to plug in all the different genres you're interested in
Yeah.
and all that kind of thing. And I was doing all that. But what was really awful was I found out that they had like a premium
Yeah.
membership.
Yeah.
And I realized that it was the people that were paying that extra money
Hmm.
that were getting any jobs at all. And
Hmm.
I thought, well, I'm just not going to spend that kind of money. I really need to know what I'm spending that money for and what
Right.
it's going to do for me. So I just kept plugging along at it. And then I just felt like this isn't going to work for me. I've got to find some other means. So then I started going to other coaches. I would research
Hmm.
people who had had success. I would listen to various webinars of other coaches and so forth. And I even did some live coaching. I even went to LA
Okay.
uh,
Oh, wow.
to
Okay.
work with someone there. And it just didn't get me anywhere. What it did was I spent a lot of money,
Hmm.
you know,
Hmm.
and I was just so frustrated because I thought I know how to do this.
Yeah.
And then in the meantime, I was doing things like upgrading my studio. I was
Sure.
doing things like learning, better editing skills and all of that. And I thought, well, if I just up my game there, that something's going to happen. And then,
Hmm.
of course, I had a website built. I'm not that very technically oriented, but it's a good website. And I thought, okay, now I'm going to get the work. It's all going to start coming to me.
So
Um,
you realized your microphone, your website, your editing skills, your position on the pay to play sites had nothing to do with you getting the work.
that's right.
It
That's
boils down, and that's so much of what it is that we do. We think if I spend another $500 on my microphone, oh yeah,
yes.
then I'll start getting the work. Oh, if I get this fancy smancy website, that's going to be the thing to get me the
Right.
work.
And then I
No,
was coveting a booth because it was like
don't
everybody who's
we?
at the top of the game, you've got to have this booth. So then I started pricing the whisper room and I thought, oh,
Right.
if I can't get any work, how am I ever going to pay for this whisper room if I get it? So I decided against that. But what I did was I started learning things about how to make what I have work better, make it more
Sure.
efficient, and I
Hmm.
did all that. And then I thought, well, if I just keep auditioning and keep working at it, I went into email marketing. I spent a ton of money on email marketing.
Hmm.
I did get a few jobs now and then, but still nothing
Yeah.
was working for me until I found Earl Hall.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. And what happened was I watched you ascend. I mean, I
Okay.
really watched you blow it up.
Okay.
And I saw in the beginning that that you were new and everything. And I thought, oh, well, let's see what happens with this guy.
Hmm.
And of course, what happened was, like I said, you just blew it up. You took off like a rocket. And I thought, okay, that's the person that I need to listen to. That's the
Wow.
person I need to learn from. I had so
Hmm.
many other coaches in the past. I followed so many other programs in the past
Hmm.
that just didn't work. And I saw you, like I said, go from zero to hero in my book. So
Wow.
this is where
Well,
I
thank you so much.
am.
Making me blush here. I don't even know what to say. Um,
Oh, you're cute when you blush.
but what was the thing that frustrated you the most or has frustrated you the most in this whole journey that you've been on? The thing that really
Well,
just kind of pissed you off?
a big part of it is because I came into voiceover when all of the old school people were really hitting their stride and
Okay.
seeing success. So I thought that's the way to go. And I did everything that they did. But what was happening was the voiceover business was evolving. Everything was changing.
Sure.
Okay. And they didn't know that. But because I was following you,
Hmm.
I knew that. I just didn't know how to create what I needed to create to make it all work for me. But
Okay.
I started learning that from watching you, listening to you.
Okay.
And then I had a real setback with my health. I spent
Mm.
most of 2017 in bed.
Wow.
But
Wow.
while I was down, what I was doing was I was just collecting all this information.
Hmm.
And I was watching you and listening to you. And I thought, well, if I can just get this all put together, then I think I can make it work. And of course, I did have some more success along the way. I was getting more jobs. It was moving along. But then when you came out with the uh, Success on Demand,
Hmm.
and I looked at that entire outline and I thought,
Hmm.
oh, okay, that's it. And I realized that that is something that I must do, that I must commit myself to that. I still had some health issues that I was working on, but now I'm to the point where most of that is behind me, and
Mhm.
some family issues and so forth. But I'm to the
Sure.
point where,
We've all got stuff. We've all
yeah,
got
as a matter of
stuff.
fact, today one of those issues